What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Zebulon Law Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Isaiah. We are live, y'all. We are live. And today we'll be watching the new Tennessee Lady Volunteers women's basketball head coach, Kim Caldwell, give her introductory press conference. It's supposed to be starting like in less than a minute now, but it's not started as of right now. But y'all, this is very exciting day for all the Tennessee Volunteer fans out there. Finally, you go outside of the box. The last two coaches they had, oh man, I just y'all her name just slipped my mind. Kelly Harper, sorry, Kelly Harper. Have obviously had ties to the University of Tennessee, but now Kim Caldwell, she has no ties to Tennessee. So I think this is a great hire. And plus, I love the way she plays aggressive defense. Her teams play aggressive defense, and they play really up-tempo style of offense. So for Tennessee, y'all have never had a team that ever looked like this. Let's just be honest. So yeah, exciting day, new era finally, and I think Tennessee is going to go back to being one of the premier schools in women's college basketball. But how y'all doing on today? Still waiting for this to start. Y'all, I cannot believe that the college basketball season is over with, though. It's so crazy. Man, what an exciting season it was. And to thank y'all that a lot of these players coming back, Juju, Hannah Hidalgo, Paige is coming back. So I cannot wait for next season. I'm already ready for next season, y'all. Honestly, I really am. I wish next season could start like here in a couple of weeks, but we have to obviously, wait till November. But yeah, women's college basketball is gonna continue to just get better and better and better. And some fun fact about Kim Caldwell, y'all. This last season of Marshall, they averaged 85.3 points per game, which was fourth in Division One. Okay, so that just goes to show you like how they play. Tennessee has not done something like that in a long time. The last few years, Tennessee's kind of played more methodical. With Kim Caldwell, yeah, them girls from be running and gunning for real. So Tennessee fans, be excited, be happy. I know this is different for y'all, right? This is totally different, but sometimes you need to be different. You need to, feel uncomfortable. And I know there are a lot of Tennessee fans, a lot, Tennessee people out there were surprised by this hire. But when you think about it, it makes a ton of sense. Y'all, you talking about Kim Caldwell. She's been the head coach since 2016. She has only lost 31 games. Okay? Let me repeat. She's been the head coach since 2016. Has only lost 31 games. So, and here's the thing. I know that she was at Glenville State, which is a Division II school. I don't care, y'all. Okay? Only losing 31 games in 8 seasons is incredible. Whether it was D2, D3, wherever. So she is a winner. Okay, I just want to tell Tennessee fans that Kim Caldwell is a winner, which is what y'all needed. The press conference is still not started yet, but y'all, she is a winner. And so Tennessee, the last few years, y'all haven't had a lot of winning in terms of really winning important games. So what I mean winning important games, I mean y'all winning those games that matter, like in the tournament. It's not that Tennessee has been like just, oh my God, just so horrible. But come tournament time, what have they done? Because obviously a program like Tennessee, y'all are judged by what? Final Four appearances and national championships. If you're not doing those things, we don't care. Let's just be honest. If you're not doing those things at Tennessee, we don't care. So, yeah, y'all, just how it is. It is just how it is. But I think with Kim Caldwell, again, we have to wait and see. We have to wait and see because this is huge. It really is. We know what she did in Marshall, but this is obviously going to be, a step up in competition. But I think she is the right woman for the job. All right, y'all. So still waiting for it to start. How's everyone doing? Let's see. Y'all, hopefully it starts soon. Hopefully it'll get ready to start in the next minute or two, but yeah, again, love to hire and think she's going to do a really, really, really good job at Tennessee. All right, y'all. So it looks like it's just started. Give me a second to pull it up so we get ready to watch it. Are there any Tennessee Vols fans in the building on today? Y'all in here? How are y'all feeling? Let me get ready to.
in college athletics these days. So historic program, historic moment, and gives us great excitement about our future.
All right, let's
We had a great search committee of athletics leadership in our athletic administration.
Up in here.
I want to thank all of those. I won't list them, but you know who you are. You are. A lot of folks put in a lot of time on this search. We took it obviously extremely seriously, but the time investment and the work involved was significant. Our student athletes were awesome. Met with our team first, as y'all have heard me talk about before. It's the first thing we always do. They voted on a leadership group. We met with that group. It was very helpful to give us insight on what's going on in the program. There's a lot of great things happening in our program. We talked about and spinning off our chancellor's comments from earlier this year. As a university, we're good. We want to be great, and sometimes the enemy of great can be good. And as a women's basketball program, we want to get back to competing for Southeastern Conference and national championships. Our student athletes have that ambition, and we're not on a 3, 4, 5-year plan. They talked about wanting to win next year, and we want to make sure that we're positioning ourselves to be competitive right away. So their comments and their education for me and understanding what's going on in our program and helping me understand and vet candidates was very, very helpful, where I know we've matched the very best coach for our team now in the present and certainly in the future. We're looking for a coach. As we went through this, we're looking for a coach for them. And I feel like it's important as a committee and as an athletic director, you need to be selfless in these endeavors and make sure that we're trying to find the right fit for this institution and for our team. We were very fast. It took us about a week, but methodical. We weren't going to rush a decision. We cast a very wide net. We talked to basically anybody you could think of or connected to people who you could think of, candidates at all different levels all across the country. There was no stone unturned. The prerequisite for this search, and something that I was unbending on, is how is this person going to bring us back to the top? We weren't looking for a possible solution that got us back to being maybe more relevant. We wanted someone with an enormous upside and trajectory, and I'll tell you why I think we found that. Different styles of play. We're open to all sorts of ways to approach the game, but obviously we're never going to hire a head coach that lacks integrity, strong character, someone who cares about student athletes and coaching for the right reasons. We have that person. We wanted somebody who's competitive and confident. You'll see we have a very competitive new coach, and someone who wasn't afraid of the challenge to restore this legendary program to where we all want it to be. I've talked about this before in introducing coaches. Folks, and a lot of speculation around coaching searches. We like to talk about names. Interviews do matter. And in a search, we pay a lot of attention to the research we do. We do a lot of research beforehand, but the interviews do matter. And I think everyone on our committee would tell you there was one interview that stood out above the rest, and it was in a significant way, really impactful. Interviewed in terms of who she is as a leader, as a person, how she presented herself, the style of play, I think is very compelling. Where the game is going, I think it resonates with our current players. I saw that. Was happy to see y'all smiling when I was introducing Kim to you. But I think in terms of prospective players in the future, it's a compelling and exciting style of play for fans. I think if you like what you're seeing in Neyland Stadium in terms of the amount of points we score, I think you're going to like what you see on the basketball floor with the offensive and defensive attacking competitive style of play. We will in very short order have the fastest style of basketball in the country. So really excited about Kim, and introducing her to you today, I think she's going to not only make an enormous impact with our current student athletes, but build a program that's distinctive and allows us to compete with some extremely formidable opponents in the Southeastern Conference and get back to competing for national championships. So with that, I'm proud to introduce to you the fourth head coach in Lady Vol basketball history, your new head coach of the University of Tennessee women's basketball, Kim Caldwell.
What an incredible honor it is to be the head coach of the Tennessee Lady Vols. Danny White, thank you for believing in me. You have an incredible track record of selecting head coaches, and I appreciate being a part of the list. Chancellor Plowman, thank you for taking time to visit with me and listen to me and everything you do for our program and this university. Marshall and Angie, you guys have been by my side every step of the way. You've made this transition for me seamless, and I already feel like I'm at home because of you two. And all of you guys are great, but did you hear that Peyton Manning texted me? I do really feel welcome here, and I appreciate that so much. I'd like to thank Marshall University. Thank you, Christian Spears, Brad Smith, Beatrice Crane Bamford, for making Marshall feel like home. You created a loving and supporting environment for me, and Marshall will always be a very special place in my heart. I also need to thank Glenville State University, Jesse Skiles, Ike Morris, Doug Cottrell, and our entire loyal fan base there. You guys gave me my start. You will always be my family, and I love you. I really need to thank every single student athlete at both of those institutions who helped get me here today. I love you. Thank you for helping me live this dream that so many people want to have. It's not always fair that the coach gets the glory and the coach gets the reward for the work that the players have done. From the bottom of my heart, I love you and I appreciate you, and you will always have a place with me. Mom, thank you for coming all this way. Thank you for being my cheerleader. Thank you for being my support system and my best friend. My dad would be so excited. He would be up here trying to take the microphone and probably sing the words to Rocky Top. I would not be here today if it was not for you and Dad. I won the parent lottery, and you're the best team, Mom, and the Lady Vols will soon know that. To my husband, Justin, thank you for being my hype man and humbling me when I need that too. Thank you for giving up a career you were exceptional at so I could chase my dream. Not a day will go by that I don't thank you for that. I can't wait for my two older sisters who I've always looked up to see how amazing this place is. They're going to be so jealous. And when I told my 96-year-old grandma about the transition, her first response was, "Oh, I have a lot of friends in Knoxville, but I think they're all dead." I haven't been here long, and I know I have a lot of history to catch up on. Thank you, Joan Cronin, for meeting me Sunday and the advice that you gave me. And trust me, as soon as I'm done here, I'm going to get back to work. The part of history that I need no catching up on is Pat Summitt's legacy and how powerful the Lady Vols family is. When I say I am honored and humbled to be here, there is not a single person who has gone through this program that I could even come close to beating one-on-one. It is a remarkable program. I can't wait to connect with our former players and listen to their stories, hear their history, and pass on what it means to be a Lady Vol and represent that in our program. Pat Summitt changed the game of basketball, and wouldn't she love to see where the game is now? I will never be Pat Summitt. Nobody can. But I will strive every day to be somebody that she would be proud of. I am so excited to get to work with this team. I got to meet them Sunday night. They're a great group with a big personality, and they are hungry to get back to the top of the SEC. We're going to play an exciting brand of basketball. We want to play fast. We want to play up-tempo. We want to be the hardest playing team in the country. And we want to give Lady Vol Nation something very exciting to watch. I know what this job means, and I am honored to be here. I will work every day to make sure I take care of this special program and give God his glory in the process. Thank you.
Welcome, Coach.
Thank you.
Rick Russo, WVLT Vol Network affiliate. I would venture to say passion had something to do with it, but what drove you initially to the coaching profession, and talk about the path taken to eventually lead you here to Rocky Top?
When I was younger, I loved basketball, and I always wanted to play basketball as long as I could. And I was a 5'10" post player, so I learned pretty quickly in my career that it wasn't going to be there was nothing after college in my future. And so I knew that coaching was the route I needed to take. My dad was my high school coach. He coached us from the time that we were in elementary school all the way up. And I saw his passion. I saw how hard he worked, and I wanted to be exactly like him. And so he's the reason that I got into coaching. And I was able to work with him. He was my assistant at Glenville State the entire time up until he passed away in 2021. And so I learned a lot from him. And he did a great job of teaching me how to be a leader without ever having to say a word.
Cora Hall with the Knoxville News Sentinel. You mentioned you are well familiar with the history of this program. Just for you, why do you feel like you're ready to take on that challenge of the expectations of this program?
You want to be somewhere where the expectations are high. I've had a lot of opportunities in my career to look at jobs, and I was never interested in a job that did not have high expectations, did not have a loyal fan base, did not have a hungry crowd that wanted to pay attention to what was going on. And so I think that that is something that makes this program incredibly special. And I'm going to work very, very hard to make sure that we keep it there.
Welcome, Coach. KCK WAT Sports. Has it clicked totally that you are the head coach of Lady Vol basketball? And if so, what was that moment where it really clicked for you?
It hasn't really clicked yet. There are sometimes I have to just remind myself, right? I'm really here. I'm really seeing what I am seeing. It's an incredible opportunity, and I'm so grateful for that. But no, it has not clicked yet, and I will let you know when it does.
John Wilkerson, the Sports Animal. Welcome, Coach. You just did this a year ago, and I'm curious, what timeline do you have set? What do you prioritize in terms of putting a staff together and just starting to prepare for your first year as the head coach of the Lady Vols?
Yeah, there's a lot to do. So we need to get a great staff put in place. I need to form relationships with the current players that are here. And then we need to make some additions and get in the portal and start to recruit. And so it's all hands on deck right now.
Ryan Sylvia, Rivals.com. Just how much does turning around a program last year at Marshall, what does that experience give you this year trying to do it again?
It's helpful. It is helpful. It's nothing that I planned. I was planning to be at Marshall for quite some time, and this was not something that we planned to do. But it does help the fact that less than a year ago I was doing a press conference, and less than a year ago I was trying to recruit the roster that we had while recruiting another team and put a staff together. And so it's familiar in that sense.
Jack Scherz, the Daily Beacon. Coach, what are your expectations just for this first year?
We want to be the hardest playing team in the country. We want to establish our culture. We want to score a lot of points and be an exciting brand of basketball in the SEC. We want to make people proud. We want to really make sure that we get back on top.
Caleb Jower with the Daily Times. Coach, you mentioned this exciting brand of basketball. What does that look like night in and night out, and how do you expect that to translate into the SEC?
Yeah, it looks like a lot of pressure, a lot of shots being taken, playing a lot of players, trusting your players, giving them freedom, putting them in situations where they can make good choices, and having a lot of athletes on the floor, but just making sure that we're going to cross half court a lot, but press almost nonstop, really aggressive, fun style of play.
Hey, Coach. Matthew Sutsky, WTK Rock Solid Sports. Welcome to Knoxville. How different do you expect the recruiting process to be coming from Marshall now to an SEC program with a historic track record?
Yeah, I mean, everyone I've texted has responded to me, so that's the difference. It's really nice. But you just, same thing, right? Players are players. People that are transferring and in high school players, they're all looking for the same thing. Just different levels. They just happen to be taller in the SEC.
John Adams, Knoxville News Sentinel. Kim, do you think your style of play can translate to the higher level, or do you think you'll need to modify it a little bit?
I wouldn't be here if I didn't think we could do it here.
All right, y'all. How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? It's funny because you just heard one of the reporters asked Kim Caldwell if she thinks that her style of offense can translate to Tennessee. She said, "I wouldn't be here if I didn't think it could," and I agree with that. I mean, I think it absolutely will translate. As I said a few minutes ago, yes, it is definitely different from how Tennessee is used to playing. Looks like the press conference is over now, but yes, it is definitely different from how UT is used to playing. But I think this is an exciting thing for them because I think the problem with UT has been is the last few years they kind of have got behind, right? They fallen behind, not just the SEC, but they fallen behind from a lot of the teams in women's college basketball now. And so because of that, I think Danny White felt like, hey, you know what? Let's go outside of the box. Let's do something that we have never done before, and let's give it a shot. And y'all think it's actually going to work out because, like I said a few minutes ago as well, I really like the way Kim Caldwell's team plays, right? Very up-tempo style on offense, very tenacious and aggressive defensively. This sounds like kind of how UT used to be, y'all. UT used to be a pretty high-flying offense, and then they were very, very, very tenacious and aggressive defensively. They have not had that in a long time, right? It's time for UT to get back to playing that style of basketball. If UT is able to get back to that, y'all, they will be a great team once again. I'm not saying they're going to be able to win 8 national championships like they did with Pat Summitt, okay? Because obviously, y'all, that's something that's unprecedented, one. And then secondly, there are so many great teams in women's college basketball that as these years just keep going on, it's going to continue to get harder and harder and harder and harder to win national championships. You got South Carolina, right? You got NC State. You got Notre Dame. Now you got USC with Juju. You just had Iowa with Caitlin Clark. These teams just continue to get – you got Colorado and Kansas State and UCLA and Ohio State. These teams just keep getting better and better and better. It's only going to make it that much harder to win national championships. But I do think, y'all, UT definitely will be a great team within 2 or 3 years because I think Kim Caldwell is a really good coach. She is a winner. Like I said a few minutes ago, she's only lost 31 games in 8 seasons, okay? That is a great head coach right there. To only lose 31 games in 8 seasons. That's about, if you do the math, y'all, that's about 4 losses per year. So that is incredible. She's a great head coach, and she knows how to coach some offense and defense. Her defense averages 24 turnovers per game and shoot a ton of threes. Is the recipe for wins. Exactly, yes. And that's why I love Kim Caldwell because that's where Tennessee was at their best, that defense, y'all. Tennessee, we know Tennessee it was known for their defense under Pat Summitt. And with Kim Caldwell, I think they will be able to get back to playing that style of basketball, just being very, very, very aggressive. You're going to see UT, their players are going to be picking you up 94 feet because that's what Kim Caldwell, that's what she did at Glenville State, and that's what she did at Marshall. Like we saw what she did last year at Marshall in her only year there, y'all. I mean, Marshall, as General Neely just said, her defense averages 24 turnovers per game. So, I mean, that's incredible. You don't hear that. Like 24 turnovers per game, incredible stuff from Kim Caldwell and her teams. Really, really, really love this hire, y'all. We know now the SEC, you got Don Staley, you got Kim Mulkey, now you got Kim Caldwell, you got Kenny Brooks, you got Coach Yo. This SEC is loaded with really, really good head coaches, and I cannot wait to see how all this is going to unfold next year. That's impressive. I think Pat something to smile today. Yes, she absolutely is. Opposing teams hate playing against the press. Absolutely. They do, right? Because that frustrates you. Yeah, I mean, you're right. It absolutely frustrates you as a point guard, as a shooting guard, when you have to deal with a point guard and, opposing point guard and shooting guard being that aggressive like that defensively, right? Picking you up 94 feet. It's going to make you want to throw the ball to your center, be like, no, get the ball out of my hands because I don't want to deal with this. So, yeah, you're right. They hate playing against the press, but that's how she plays, though. That's how she did it at Glenville State. That's how she did it in her 1 year in Marshall, right? And that's why she's had a ton of success because she does things differently. And again, y'all, that's the key word for Tennessee, just doing things different. That's the word, different. Okay, Tennessee, I think they got so used to only having people that are connected with the program, right? And Holly Ward and Kelly Harper. No, okay, go outside of the box, do things differently, and maybe you can expect a different result. Now, I think they will, y'all. And I'm getting ready to get up out of here, but y'all know that, I mean, let's just be honest. Ever since unfortunately Pat Summer passed away, Tennessee's just not been the same team. They haven't, even when she retired, they haven't been the same team. Like I know, like I think the first year with Holly Ward, they won like 30 games or something like that. I mean, that's good. That's fine. If you did that, say if she did that at Ohio State a few years ago, that would have been fine. Right? Yeah, her first year they won 27 games. Her second year they won 29 games. Her third year they won 30 games. But y'all, they didn't go to the Final Four. Okay, first year Elite Eight, great. Next year, Sweet 16, third year, Elite Eight. That's cool. But again, this is Tennessee. You judged on what? Final Fours and championships. So, and same thing with Kelly Harper. She wasn't able to get them there. So at the end of the day, y'all, you got to change things up. That's what Danny White did. I love this hire from I love this hire by him to hire Kim Caldwell. And I think Tennessee basketball is going to be back. Obviously not in the way that they were back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s, but I think they'll be back in the sense that they will at least be a team that were like, yeah, you know what? They can contend for a national championship. The last really like 7 to 10 years, I hadn't even felt like Tennessee's been a contending team. But I think with her, they will be that. Shout out to everybody that came through on the stream today, man. Thank y'all for that. Thank God for that. There's like 13 people at one point, y'all. Yeah, so thank you, God. General Neelan, thank you're new. I ain't seen you on here. You really commented. So yeah, welcome to the channel. Hopefully you hit that sub button. I'm assuming you're a big Tennessee Volunteers fan with your name. And yeah, I do talk about women's college basketball over here. So yeah, I think you'll definitely enjoy that. But y'all know I'm gonna end it, man. Remember, laughter is good medicine. So make sure you get your daily dose. Y'all know I'm gonna end it. I love y'all. God bless. Peace.